Hello? Ooh, it's loud. No, I've been lost to sitting.
Hello and welcome to Cognitions Speaking the Unspeakable with JP
and Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock and I'm here with the one and only, the lovely Miss Stacy D. Love. And we are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
and Wisdom.
All right, coming up on the show, we have our question of the day, which is, why are some relationship-oriented people their happiest when they are single?
Single, waiting to mingle.
So that is our question of the day. We have that coming up around the half-hour mark. But before we can get to that, let's start with our check-in with the D. How
I have a whole lot of check-ins.
D?
Okay, first of all,
a lot of check-ins.
A little bit of ones. Okay, first, everyone, please like us and follow us on Facebook and also on YouTube. Like us and follow us on YouTube. We're trying to do big things, but
Yes.
we can't do it without you guys helping us. And remember, we air on 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Thursdays. So thank you.
Prime time is
Prime
7.
time.
So
Okay, check in. So guys know that I try to myself to be a walking billboard for my home health agency and everything. But I want all of the scrub people.
Scrub people?
The people that make the scrubs.
Oh, the scrubs. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The scrub
We need to have the scrub manufacturers.
Because you got on scrubs right now.
Yeah, I got different color. I got gray. Because I have to find ones that look good with my logo.
Right, that looks good, D.
Yeah, the gray looks good.
Right.
Okay. But I'm having a major problem with the scrubs, okay? The tops are fine, but the bottoms are not right.
What's wrong with people been wearing those for decades and decades, D? What is your problem with them? What's wrong with them?
Y'all need to put an extra booty panel in them, because anyone that's well endowed, if you sit down, JP, do not looking back. If you sit down, half my booty is out, and I refuse to get a bigger size. Because
these cheeks are out. D.
What? I know.
You are the only person I've seen with their cheeks. Get a larger size, D. You trying to be? What you trying to?
Big.
You act like you about to go do a thick contest or drop something like it's hot. You don't need to look good in your scrubs.
6 days a week.
But you don't need to look good in them, D.
I got the matching tennis shoes to match them. I mean, I stay right.
Lord, she doesn't want to wear a larger pair.
No, if I wear a larger pair, they're gonna be too big.
Don't they have a drawstring or something to draw them up so they don't fall? As long as they don't fall down, you good.
Okay, as long as I'm. Okay, because even right now, when I'm walking, they start falling down. And I have the drawstring on them. Or can someone tell me what I need to do differently?
D, what are you going to do with your cheeks, though? Look what your cheeks are doing.
I know they coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Yeah, it's like really crazy.
Oh, my God.
So y'all need to do something about, because not everybody is built like a board.
Oh.
Some of us is voluptuous. Let me tell the word. Voluptuous.
Voluptuous, yes.
You know, and a little thick.
Curvy,
little
thicky
curvy.
thick.
So y'all need to put another booty panel in them or do something.
Have you talked to other people? Because I really think this is an isolated problem to the D. It is too many soul sisters walking around with scrubs, and I ain't seen no booties out, D, until today. This the first. You the first booty that's out.
The first booty. Okay, but when I'm walking, it's not out. It's only when I sit down, it go bloop bloop. But
so the patients can't see.
No, the patients can't see until I get ready to get up or get out the car or something like that. But they're big enough. I mean, I have a lot of room in the waist and everything. But when I sit down, it just comes out.
Oh, they're low-waisted.
Hell no, they're not low-waisted. They booty out.
But wait a minute. Hold on. But they fit. You're saying that when you sit, so they just need to be longer in the waist.
How the hell something be longer in the waist?
instead of being hip huggers like something from the 60s, you need for them to come up to like the belly button.
They do. But when I sit down, the booty come out.
Her booty's out.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So
Oh,
as
Mr.
we
Walker.
See, look,
Here come the D's booty.
Okay.
It's
so
coming.
as you see, they right. Okay.
Right.
Even in the foot. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
what's the problem? Mr. Walker getting nervous. Mr. Walker said, "Oh, Sookie now, Sookie,
So
Sookie."
you see that they right. You see they right. Okay, everybody. Now sit down. Something done came out.
Something came out, but your shirt covers it up.
Yeah.
So D, this isn't a problem.
Yes, it is a problem. Y'all need to make. I mean, and they're expensive.
Scrub
They're like
manufacturers.
$40.
Scrub manufacturers, ignore the D. Yeah,
No.
She's tripping.
Y'all need to do something. 'Cause they
Maybe
just
it's
see-
the brand, because there's probably multiple brands of scrubs. Also, you just need to switch brands.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go switch some brands.
That's all you gotta do, D. Don't have them redo something that
They
they've
need to
been
put a booty
making
panel in 'em.
for. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either, but it sounded good.
You made it. Oh, she's making up words.
That's what we do.
again.
That's what we do here. Speaking of
I thought that was an official. I thought that was an official seamstress term.
No, that's what we do here on Speaking of Unspeakable. I mean, hey,
Put a booty panel in them.
put a booty pad in them or something. Okay.
All right. What's your next check-in? Because you said you had a lot of check-ins.
Okay. Then I'm having problems with the computer system at my jobs. I'm trying to put all my businesses on one computer system, and it just do not want to work out. So if we listen to some type of computer person out here, please get with the D so you can help her dream come a reality.
Don't you use different programs and software?
But why?
But you just need to have all your different programs on that computer. But you're wanting to have one program to manage
Everything, yes.
But some of your businesses aren't even related.
So?
You got vending machines over here and sick patients over there. Like, D, what does that have to do with each other?
Inventory.
Rental property and bail bonding. They're not related. There's no program. You would have to create a program. Or what you can do is go to Office Depot. They have programs for everything. Anything you want.
Is that where you got your program for your therapy?
No, mine is Simple Practice.
We ain't supposed to be giving them names. They're not giving you any money.
They show
couldn't-
ain't,
I
and they
couldn't
charge
find
me a
them.
lot every month.
And I couldn't find them.
Simple Practice.
I wanted the number. You don't like all that emailing. I'm
They're
old
not-
school.
They don't do all that, but
Yeah, that's the
they
problem.
they're good for all billing, scheduling, all that kind of stuff. But you have other businesses that have nothing to do with healthcare, so you're still going to have a different program. But I do think it's a good idea to have it all on the same computer.
I know. I mean, it is on. Well, I have 3 different computers. Like I have my.
Why you can't just switch from one program to the other, D? Why you got to
I
make
just think
this?
it's just too much problem. Somebody's calling you. Are they saying something wrong?
You making this
Because remember, JP says
the
don't
doctor's
nobody
office.
call him between 2 and 3
you didn't
on
hear
Thursday.
it. You didn't hear it. Okay, you didn't hear that phone ring though. You see that phone is turned off.
Mine is too. But
I don't play.
Okay.
Shoot.
But
Better
I
ask
still think
somebody.
that I should be able to do some type of a program that I can able to put all my different businesses into one.
Okay.
It
What's your
sounds
next
good.
check-in, D? It would, yeah, but they're unrelated, so you would end up even more unhappy. What's your next check-in?
Okay, I think I'm about to do some mental health and illness in the news.
Really?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm in
You
vacation.
skipping- you
I'm in
skipping for-
vacation mode.
Go ahead.
So
'Cause
leave me
I-
alone. I do what I want to do.
Yes.
I'm part person of this.
Let's skip my check-in and go straight to mental health and illness in the news, which is actually a good idea because I was going to skip my check-in to cover a mental health and illness in the
Anyway.
news story anyway.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Mine's might be a little funnier. Okay, so my dad was in town this weekend. Oh, my daddy. Okay, so he's from Tupelo, Mississippi. So he was having
Straight up Tupelo.
He was having it was the height. We went to Popeyes and they was about to close. And I was like, no, y'all not about to close because my parents
Red
is up
beans
in
and
here.
rice.
Exactly. I'm like, no. My parents is up in here. They from Mississippi and they need some chicken and it's 10 o'clock at night. So I'm sorry, mister. Which the man did give me
Why
some.
couldn't
And he
you have
asked
just
for my
fried them
number,
up
too.
some chicken?
No.
No, you don't fry chicken,
I
or
don't
no,
fry
you didn't
chicken.
feel like it.
And I didn't feel like it.
D, I know you fry chicken.
No, I don't.
Don't play with me.
No. I put it in the oven.
You cook well, that's the healthy way.
Mhm.
But when parents
And it
come to
still
town,
be
you got to
fried.
get out the Crisco and a cast iron skillet.
They're not, times have really changed. Families really not doing all that like we used to. I was really surprised. Oh,
Don't be saying that, because my sister will fry up
Hold on
some
a minute.
chicken in a
I got
cast
to-
iron
I
skillet
got to
in a
call.
New York minute.
sorry.
Is it an emergency? Oh, okay. Well, while the D leaves for whatever her emergency is, I don't have a check-in for today, but I do want to talk about something that has occurred. Queen Elizabeth II passed away today at the age of 96. Yes, Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, you didn't hear about this? I was devastated to hear about the Queen. The Queen Elizabeth II, passed away this afternoon at the age of 96. She was the longest reigning monarch. She was queen for 70 years. She has been queen since she was 26 years old. And so this is a sad day because, like, it's the Queen. And everybody likes the Queen. Don't everybody like the Queen? And so that's unfortunate. That's sad to hear. Charles is now King Charles. Because, he now finally will ascend to the throne. So that was in place of my check-in, is about the Queen passing away. Okay, I do have a mental health and illness in the news story. Apparently, this is unfortunate. There has been an increase in suicides among Latino males. They are saying that it increased by nearly 6%. And in taking a look at it, because here's what has happened. U.S. suicide rates fell in 2019 and again in 2020. Okay. The year-over-year rate declined by 3% overall, falling by 8% among women and 2% among men. So overall, the suicide rate decreased, except in this particular population of Latino males. And so they were trying to take a look at what has possibly played a role in the increase in suicide, in depression and suicide amongst Latino males. And apparently they were saying that part of the problems is that some of the problems that they were experiencing prior to the pandemic, but the pandemic exacerbated those problems. And on the list of things that they have been struggling with are substance abuse, job loss, which of course that problem was exacerbated by the pandemic, poor access to care, and the stigma of mental illness in the Latino community. They were saying that Latino males lost jobs at disproportionately high rates after the pandemic. They were no longer the primary wage earners. And so now we're getting into a little bit of that kind of patriarchal family dynamics where the males are expected to be the wage earners, and that the drastic job loss prevented them from being able to do that. And they struggled to cope with that and continue to struggle to cope with that. So it has taken a significant effect upon their emotional state. Just a sense of responsibility, sense of self-worth, all of those different things. And so one of the things that they were saying, they had interviewed a gentleman, and he stated, "I was raised not to show emotion, not to cry." This was a 32-year-old Latino man from Albuquerque who chose to, not be identified by name. "If you've had to bottle up your emotions your whole life, you have to let them out somewhere." His outlet was black tar heroin, and he tried to kill himself twice over the past, decade. And so this is something that I feel like the Latino community is oftentimes overlooked. Mr. Walker, I can't see anything on here. That the Latino community is oftentimes overlooked. And so what they are trying to do is come up with some interventions to impact this problem. And one of the things that they came up with was outreach, coming up with local engagement teams that would focus on the places where Latinos frequent, because sitting and waiting at the mental health center, the community mental health center, or a private practice, waiting for them to show up and ask for help is not going to happen. And so what the outreach efforts are hoping to accomplish is maybe going to them at the places that they frequent in their community might increase the likelihood of them being open and receptive to receiving mental health care. And in taking a look at that, they were saying that, healthcare is physically present in a lot of other communities, not so much in the Latino community. So, going to their neighborhoods specifically to do outreach should help to impact this problem. They were saying that Latino males are the riskiest workforce. Basically, when it comes to getting laid off, they have tended to be at the top of the list, and they are aware of that. And so, I'm addressing this story because, one, not everything that we address on the show is directly related to black folks, okay? We address things that are related to people, okay, to the human race. I do see a little bit of parallel similarity in this situation because black males have traditionally also been very resistant to seeking mental health care. Black males are also expected to, be the breadwinner, the head of the household, to provide, et cetera, et cetera. Now, one of the things that I have said consistently is, over the past, I would say 10 to 15 years, black males have done an incredible job of coming in and, asking for help and receiving treatment services. Over the past 24 years that I've been a therapist, I have noticed a drastic increase in the amount of African American male clients that I see. At this time, I would say they make up probably about 40% of my caseload, and it is black males of all ages. It's not just, black males in their 30s or 40s. It's, young black males 18 to 25, all the way up to even senior citizens, older black males who are coming in and saying, okay, I'm struggling with some depression, I'm struggling with some anxiety. Those tend to be the two most common presenting problems that I am seeing. So since black males have moved forward, began to embrace, the willingness to receive help, hopefully these outreach efforts with the Latino community will also result in them being willing to reach out and ask for help, accept and receive help for, their struggles with depression and anxiety. So that is my mental health and illness in the news story. Now I have.
Can we go back to my mental health in the news, or did I?
We ain't got time for that, D. But we got time for that. I do have.
And I do apologize, everyone.
I do have.
What?
Well, D, what is it? What were you gonna say? Because you were talking about your father.
I was talking about my dad.
Okay.
Okay.
I do need to get to this though. But
okay.
Go ahead.
It's only gonna take 3 minutes. Can I have the researcher to research this? It was in regards to our researcher.
Popeye's chicken.
No.
What?
You know, I have to always do a backstory to get to where I need to get to.
Okay.
Okay. About a man who stole an airplane in Tupelo and landed in the Walmart.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When was that?
And then he ran to the best lawyer in Tupelo or something. Or he was trying to get to the best lawyer in Tupelo to represent him.
I'm so confused with what this has to do with Popeye's chicken and you not frying chicken for your father.
Okay, because we was in Popeye's chicken, and then the man was like, "You're from where?" And he said, "Tupelo." He's like, "Oh, I ain't never heard of that." And then that's when my father started telling the story that it literally just happened this weekend. He's like, "We was on CNN."
I don't think Tupelo wants to be known for that, though.
Well,
your
my
daddy
dad
need to come up with a better frame of reference.
Well, you know, that's where Elvis Presley's from.
Tupelo?
Yeah, Elvis Presley's from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay, speaking of Elvis, what's that mean? What's that mean?
What about
Listen to
Elvis?
this.
I used to be in love with Elvis as a little kid.
Let me address this. Did you watch the Elvis movie?
Hold on. Our researcher is
Mr. Walker?
Okay.
I just wanted to say that also after he stole the plane, he called in and threatened to crash it into the Walmart in Tupelo, Mississippi. So they had to evacuate the Walmart.
Oh, so he did. You said he ran it.
Well,
into
that's
the
what my
Walmart.
daddy said.
So he didn't actually crash into the Walmart. Why is he targeting Walmart though? Walmart got enough problems. Walmart has tons of problems when it comes to its shoppers. They don't need a plane flying into the building.
No, they don't.
Okay.
So
let's talk about Elvis for just a minute.
Okay, just a minute.
Did you watch the Elvis movie?
I don't have time to watch TV.
It was at the theaters. You
When?
You can catch. Here is something that I want
to the movies. I got Fire Stick. I got 999.99 stations.
Don't get yourself in trouble by disclosing that you're watching movies illegally at home.
I know, right?
Hey, I'm like, you watching movies bootleg.
These are not views from KUAW radio.
Why is she admitting to watching bootleg movies?
I'm on vacation, y'all. I'm on vacation. Sorry.
I just got back from vacation this morning.
I
still know better than to confess to watching bootleg movies.
But how am I watching bootleg movies? I pay for the service.
That movie was in theaters. It just left theaters. So if you had it on your whatever you got.
I didn't say I watched Elvis. You said you watched Elvis.
I watched it at the movie theater.
Okay, I have not seen Elvis nowhere in the building.
I want to say something on behalf of Elvis.
Okay, let's hear what Elvis had to say.
You know, over the years, black folks somehow started to claim that Elvis was a racist, but one of the things I've noticed is that there was never any concrete evidence of racism on Elvis's part. He just got labeled as a racist. And so I watched the Elvis movie in the theaters. Not on D's illegal fire stick.
And I got 4 of them. Okay, what?
See, stop. Okay, one of the things that came out in the movies, because they have talked about in the black community that Elvis took a lot from black culture and incorporated it into his music. Mm-hmm. The thing that I liked about it is he never denied that. He did interviews where he said that his music was a combination of gospel and soul music. Mm-hmm. In this movie was a funny.
But Little Richie. No, Little Richie.
Little Richie was in the movie. They had
Little Richie in the movie.
They had Little Richard in the movie.
Because he did not like Elvis.
He spent a lot of time with like Little Richard was present, but he looked up to Little Richard because of his dance moves. BB King was a friend of his.
Get away.
Yes. And so they showed Elvis like as a kid in a all black church catching the spirit, which was hilarious. He was the only white person in there. He was a kid in there catching the spirit.
Where was his parents?
Catching the Holy Ghost.
Was his parents in
They
the
weren't
church
there.
now?
They didn't know he was there.
So he just left the house and went to church by himself.
He hung out with black kids.
We're calling the people on Elvis Presley's family.
He hung
You
out
know,
with
this
black
right
folks.
here is the people caller.
Here's one of the things that I like that they pointed out in the movie was him doing interviews speaking against racism, responding to different civil rights things that were taking place, like the assassination of Martin Luther King and, you know, the Kennedy assassinations, all these different things. And he even got into some type of trouble with his record label because he wanted to use some time to address racism in America and sing like a gospel song, you know, one of them Negro spirituals, and they didn't want him to do it, and he insisted upon doing it anyway.
Oh,
and so
wow.
in watching this movie, and I'm like, well, there's interviews and footage of this man making it clear, I'm not denying where I got this soul and rhythm from. I know where I got it from, you know, and because that's what he was saying. Rock and roll music is a combination of gospel and soul music. He was like, yes, he hung out in black clubs. He hung out in
Juke joints. That
with
wasn't
black folks.
That was called juke joints.
Well, yeah, they was juke joints back then.
Joints.
And so that was a good movie. So you need to check out that movie.
Watch that movie. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to watch it.
But you need to check out that movie. Okay.
Cool.
I want to do a bonus segment.
Ching, 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 ching. That's what you do in bonus.
Yes. Bonus segment called music therapy.
Ooh.
So this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to read these lyrics. And then you guess whose lyrics these are.
Are they R. Kelly's?
Why did me and one of my frat brothers get into it earlier today? One who agrees with you on most things.
We really have like minds, boy.
Y'all really got like minds, especially when it comes to R. Kelly. I ain't even gonna get into what he had to say about R. Kelly, but I told him, you and the D agree on this kind of stuff. It's weird that y'all agree on so much stuff. Anyway,
We were meant to be together.
these
circumstances.
There's no therapy in R. Kelly's lyrics that he wrote in his studio in his house, where he was also holding underage girls
I wanna ride
hostage
you like a Jeep.
so that he could emotionally, sexually, and physically abuse them, and then go in the
Okay, can we
studio
move on
and
to
write
the-
music.
can we go on to
there's
the
nothing
lyrics,
therapeutic
please?
about that, D. Okay, here we
Go
go.
on to the lyrics.
Listen to these lyrics. This is
Okay,
music
okay.
therapy, and we are going to do this bonus segment periodically because I want for us to get into the habit of truly listening to music, because you can get therapeutic feedback and support from more places than just in the therapist's office. Okay, so here we go.
That's right.
You never know unless you've been there. I'm singing this love song to show my support to the beautiful people who have been ignored, with blind eyes and cold shoulders attacking them. Invisible people they won't let in. Let's open our eyes to the true barrier. Stereotypical things are the worst. Stand face to face with the real ugly truth. How would you feel if that was you?
Ooh.
Because every life matters. We all need to do better. So we all should try. We all need to do better. A smile or kind word or extending a hand, helping someone to feel human again. If we never start, it could be you on the other end. You never know. We all need to do better. You never know. We all need to do better.
I'm doing the next music lyrics.
Okay.
I already know this was. This has got to be a Janet Jackson song.
The D knows that Janet will drop therapeutic lyrics.
Wait till y'all get my lyrics.
This song, okay. Yes, this song is called Black Eagle, of course, written and performed by Janet Jackson, but it's speaking and challenging all of us to not succumb to stereotypes, challenging racism and those types of things, and saying, remember, it could be you on the other end of this. So be kind to your fellow man.
Wow, that came right on good with the little Elvis Presley. Boy,
It fit. Yes.
boy, you bad.
Well, we flowing.
Wow.
Okay, are you gonna have some music therapy for us? Let me, please don't let it be R. Kelly. D.
I'm not gonna
There's
do R.
nothing
Kelly.
therapeutic
I'm
about
not
R.
gonna
Kelly.
do R. Kelly.
Mr. Walker, you don't allow R. Kelly lyrics on this station, do you?
I'm not gonna do R. Kelly. I'm gonna do somebody. I'm gonna do someone else.
Are you gonna do? Okay.
And you will never guess.
Therapeutic. Okay. Now I'm looking forward to that. All right. Let's get to our question. I have a really interesting answer to this question, D.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm curious to know what yours is. Our question of the day. Why are some relationship-oriented people their happiest when they're single? Now, here's how this came up. One of my clients who I adore, she's wonderful. We were talking about her struggles with relationships, and she made the comment that she has been her happiest when she wasn't in relationships, when she was single.
When she was single.
And that statement, I don't think she realized the weight that that statement carried. And so what my response to her was, when we are in between relationships, you are in a relationship with yourself. If you are happiest when you are single, what you should learn from that is that when you are in a relationship with yourself and you're happy, that means that when it comes to dating, you need to be dating people who are more like-minded, people who are more similar to you, people who share your morals and your values and your beliefs and all these different things. If you are a person who does not believe in infidelity, for example, do not be dating fools who believe in cheating.
Well, they don't say that in the beginning.
They don't.
You know what my
Go ahead.
listen. You know what?
See, now
my
we getting into
father
red
told me?
flags.
We getting into red flags. You know what my daddy told me? He was like,
What did your daddy say?
he said, I need to give me a big old ugly man
Oh,
who's just gonna love and adore me, because he gonna be so ugly. And he's just gonna love to have me on his arm. Not that I'm all that, but I am pretty much close to it. And he's just gonna really be able to just love me and adore me.
you
I
know,
was like, really, Daddy?
that was actually advice that they used to give
In the
women
old
back in the
days.
day. That you need to settle down with a man that loves you more than you love them. Because he will put you on a pedestal. He will be so thankful
You will
that
be
he
his
has
queen.
you, et cetera, et
Yes.
cetera, et cetera. And so your daddy, he was being a little bit more raw with it, saying he need to be big and ugly. He probably didn't need to go that far.
Go that far, but you know him.
But he's basically saying someone who will cherish and adore you. The big ugly part
the
is
same way that he do.
the big ugly part is it would be a man who does not have as many temptations to step outside the marriage because he big and ugly.
But guess what?
I'm not
But when
sure
he
that
put
that's
the
true,
D, I
though.
don't think so, because when he put the D on his shoulder, on his arm, then it's going to make everybody else look at him.
See, we back to Janet and Jermaine Dupri.
Exactly.
And we live in a time, see, this is what your father wasn't thinking about.
He's an old man. He don't
Bless
think
his
about
heart. Bless him. We live in a time where it doesn't matter how big or how ugly or anything you are. You can get on the internet and be having sex within an hour.
that. Point blank. Period.
Because Now with
But
the
this is the
dating
same
apps
man who don't
and-
have a cell phone.
Oh, your daddy ain't got a cell phone. Bless his. So he don't know that
He don't know.
a ugly man with a
And
cell
he's in
phone
Tupelo,
is,
Mississippi.
and he in Tupelo where he can't go to a Walmart without something horrible possibly happening. But that's what he needs to think about is sex is so easily accessible these
easy.
days. Your father remembers the days before people
Back
had
in the
cell phones,
days.
which and I do too. But he needs to realize that now everybody has a phone on their hip and they can get on that phone and have sex within an hour. No matter how
Because when
ugly
we
they
did our
might be.
experience, they sure was trying to do that.
Yes.
The terrible experience. But we did it.
That's what we need to call it, the terrible
The
experience.
terrible
The dating app
experience.
experience
The-
turned
yeah,
out to be the terrible experience. Yes.
But
So,
I do agree with that statement that she made.
you know, because some people are miserable when they're in between relationships. But to me, if you're miserable when you're single, you ain't enjoying your own company.
Exactly.
You miserable with you because you are with you during that time. And so if you are miserable, you need to figure out, because if you're miserable with you,
About self.
who are you thinking is going to be happy with you?
Exactly.
Why would some man or woman be happy with you? You ain't even happy with you.
yourself.
And so it really spoke volumes that she was able to
did.
say, I have been happy by myself, but she's a
You have done
relationship
good.
oriented person. She wants a man.
So she thinks.
Well, if she could end up in a relationship where she is as happy in that relationship as she is when she's single, that would be a good fit. Because when she's single, she ain't got to worry about getting cussed out, called all kind of bees. She ain't got to worry about getting cheated on. She treats herself
Ain't gotta
well.
worry about cooking for nobody. Getting up, going to their house when their beds is all uncomfortable. Then they have all these rules in their house about you can't brush your teeth in the sink. You got to brush your teeth in the toilet stool. You got to wipe up your hair. Yeah, because they got all these rocks in the sink. Okay, I know, decorative.
Oh, the decorative rocks.
The decorative rocks in the sink. But go put them someplace else. Don't put them in the bathroom sink. So you can't brush your
Those
teeth.
belong in the guest in the
Yes.
entryway guest
So
bathroom.
don't nobody hardly
that
use.
nobody brushes their
uses.
teeth in.
Exactly.
They don't go in the bathroom you actually use.
Yeah. Then they don't have good sheets and blankets on their bed.
Thread count
Thread
jacked up.
counts 300 and I mean it's just a lot. Then you got to be nice and you don't want to be nice. It's just a lot.
But when you think about everything that you are identifying as negative traits in a partner, it is possible to find a partner who does not have those traits. Because when a person is single, they're able to brush their teeth wherever they want to. Well, there are men out there who are like, brush your teeth wherever you want to. I ain't putting decorative rocks in a sink. Like,
Where
what?
you do that at?
There
Not
are
in the
men-
bathroom that you use. Come on.
Come on.
Read the magazines correctly.
There, if you tried to decorate your house from a magazine, right?
Read
There are
correctly.
men out there who a woman does not have to feel the burden of having to cook all the meals because
Yes.
they cook.
They're cooked.
One of my sister's husbands cooked every day. And the fool
he-
knew how to cook.
If he cook, I can wash dishes.
There you go.
There you go.
Who
Easy
says
peasy.
who says that you should have to feel burdened
And we
down
both
by
bring
cooking
home
all the time?
and we both bring home the bacon.
Both bringing home bacon. And so when you
Putting mine in the oven.
here's what I'm challenging women to do. When you are single and happy, write down a list of all the aspects of your life that you are enjoying, because when you return to dating, those are the things that you need in your dating relationships. Is the same thing that you get when you are happy and single. Now, here's the question
What's
that I
the
know some
question?
people, because I wanted to address this because I have a number of female friends who are
A lot.
happy single.
I know.
I'm talking, they're living their best life.
Best life.
They travel, they make good money, they traveling, they kicking it, but they're still relationship oriented. They like, nah, I still would love to have a man.
We just ain't taking no more mess.
They're not putting up with no
Not
mess.
putting up with no more mess.
Which makes it slimmer pickings.
A whole lot.
But slim pickings does not mean that there is no pickings. It's just slim pickings. So
and we
now,
might need to go out of our race. I've been
the race.
I've been really toggling with that, you guys, because
you better get you a white man, D.
or a Hispanic man, or
I don't care where he's from.
He's gonna be something. He might not be
He gotta be something.
He might not be an African American, but I mean, you really be surprised because life has gotten so open now. I mean, I just had this white man. He came. He was like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." I was like, "Thank you," and we just kept talking.
Thank you, white man.
And kept talking. He's like, "You are so beautiful." I'm like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "Come on and ride up on this elevator with me."
Right.
He rode up on the elevator with me.
And you should have gave him your number.
He was like, "Do you have a problem messing with married men?" I'm like,
"Oh,
it was nice speaking with you."
I thought you was gonna say white men. I thought you was gonna say you got a problem with messing with white men.
No, I don't.
He said married men.
He said married men.
Hell yeah, you got a problem with that.
Because he ain't got enough money. Even though I wouldn't do it anyway. It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Now, you know you're supposed to be saved, sanctified, and
filled with the Holy Ghost. I mean, it's just funny how men are just come out and say that now. They just don't. And it's bad.
At least
that
he's
women,
honest, though.
He was honest.
I can respect, because I have seen a number of female clients who only date married men.
We already talked about that.
And so he was hoping you was one of them.
He was hoping really, really
He's like,
bad.
I already got a wife at home, so you ain't got to worry about me trying to have my feet up under your table every day. My feet going to be under my wife's table. I just need for my shoes to be under your bed periodically. That's what he was saying.
It's not going to happen.
When the wife didn't want to be bothered with him, then he with you.
I don't believe in sharing. If that was it, I could have stayed married.
Oh, the D done kept it real.
I want my own.
Right.
I can't stand a code.
But
because people be sharing codes. Keep your code to yourself.
You ain't sharing nothing. Let me tell you, the D is oversharing. She's done sharing.
I'm done sharing.
She's so over that. But for those married men out there, I do respect you giving a woman the choice. Let her know you got a damn wife at home so that she can say, that's not my thing.
Thank you for... I enjoyed your talk. Bye-bye now. That's what I told him. I said, bye-bye now. Right. He was like, that's so cute. I'm like, okay, but bye-bye now.
Yeah, like, get the hell on. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about dating outside the race for a minute, because we're going to talk about this whole,
Let's do it.
I want for you, those listeners who are African-American
Is it time for me to go on another dating experience?
We're not doing those apps.
No, we're not doing an app.
We're gonna do what's that, where everybody comes and they go from table to table.
Speed dating.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do speed dating. But here's something to think about when you trying to not date outside the race. Please remember that African Americans make up 15% of the U.S. population.
15.
That is from birth to 100 and something years old. Okay, you ain't dating the kids, and you ain't dating the old folks, and you ain't dating the people in prison, and you not dating the gay people. So when you think about the 15%, includes a whole lot of groups that aren't eligible for you to date. So you got to eliminate all of them. You probably down to a good 4 to 7%. You need to be dating outside the race, because that is slim picking.
It's time.
Let's talk a little bit more about the dating piece, because what I was explaining to my client is that she needs to do a better job of selecting her partners, who share her values and her morals, and who just have things in common with her.
I think we really need to start doing that 90. I'm going back to Steve Harvey. That 90 days. After 90 days, they cannot keep the mask on.
I do agree that you need to not have to deal with people misrepresenting themselves. I'm not sure that the whole Steve Harvey thing. Why are people listening to Steve Harvey give relationship? He's a comedian and a game show host.
No, it's really good sometimes. No, it's just like, but when I was thinking about it, because me and my girls was talking, okay, 3 months before you give him Pastina, let him date you and see what's going on. I mean, just have real good dates. I mean, see where his mind is on the dates, because there's a lot of dates that you don't have to spend money on, and I would love for a man to take me on those type of dates. Not saying that he's cheap, but finding out what type of person I am. How come I can't go to a concert in the park?
Yeah, just spend time and get to know each other.
Yes,
because
every
can't
conversation
rush
is
into
not
a
about having
relationship.
sex or what
Because-
you want to do to me and all of that.
And the sex conversations are a distraction from the real conversations that y'all actually need to be having.
Especially when we're on the 5th floor. You need to be saying what you're going to do these next 15 years.
There you go. I have some other suggestions.
Let's hear them.
When it comes to selection of partners, because what a lot of single women are finding is they're like, there's not enough people to date. Here's my suggestion. You got to move in circles that are populated with your kind of people. You have to have yourself in the circles where your people are, the people you are attracted to,
like-minded,
who are like-minded people. Let's take a look at where we spend our time. We spend a bulk of our time at work, and then we spend a bulk of our time at home. So if you do not work somewhere where there are eligible bachelors, you are going to have to expand your socialization to include more settings where you are going to be likely to meet eligible partners. For example, professional organizations, going to meetings of professional like NASW, the National Association of Social Workers, which is where me and the D would go. But there's associations for Black accountants and Black engineers and all these different places. You need to be putting yourself in those circles. Church. Now I'm hesitantly throwing church out there, because you got to be real careful.
Real careful.
Because folks will be real fake up in the church. But I couldn't skip over church. Like, we have to say church.
We had to put church down.
But please be careful.
Please be careful.
Messing around.
Quick Trip.
You going to meet somebody at Quick Trip?
I meet a lot of them at Quick Trip.
Are you serious?
Yes.
While getting gas?
Oh, they'll pay for the gas.
Quick Trip.
Because
gas is high.
Gas is high. Because they trying to show how they big boys. So they'll be like,
I got
go back up in there and get your money.
I got your gas, girl.
I got your gas.
I got you. Okay. Greek organizations and activities. When and by Greek, for those listeners who are like, what's he talking about? From Greece? No. I'm talking Black Greek-lettered organizations. I'm talking the Black fraternities and sororities. They have functions all the time. Start going to those functions.
Little
you
mixers.
will be surrounded by people who are educated, professional people. You have to move in those circles.
But please be advised, at all the places that we're saying, there are some that's not right.
Oh, it's fools everywhere. But you want to be in circles where there's a lower amount of fools, a lower percentage of fools, as opposed to thinking you're going to meet your partner at the nightclub on truce. Because it might be too many fools. Be too many fools. But here's something I thought about as I was coming up with this little list. That my last 4 relationships were with women who work in mental health. Like-minded. Out of the last 4.
Wait a minute. I only know 2. We want to talk some
all
more.
of them were educated women.
Yes, it was. Master's degrees.
3 out of the 4 were Greek. A Zeta. My wife is a Zeta.
A Delta. And
an AKA.
And it was not me.
I met them at places that I frequented the most. And so my wife, who I've been with forever, but I met her in a professional setting. we were introduced by a colleague, okay, a friend.
And she loved him the
colleague.
first time she put eyes on you. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
The
What?
first time she put her eyes on you.
I thought she wanted to
said,
slap the taste down my mouth.
She said, that's going to be my man. I was like, go ahead on, girl.
I
And
gotta
guess
get on
what?
to my baby. I gotta get out of here
and
tonight.
she stayed on up, and honey, she stayed in the running too, didn't she, baby?
I had to have my baby.
She got him. She
and she
knew
had
it.
to have me.
As soon as she seen him,
And now she stuck with me.
Yeah.
She probably like, oh, I should have thought about this longer. He's a head
She
full.
gave you your Sasha boo.
My baby. But that's what I was thinking about. I met her in professional circles. The woman that I was with before her, we worked together. The woman I was with before her, we worked together. And the woman I was with before her, I met in graduate school, pursuing my career in mental health. Date like-minded people. Stop dating people who don't have nothing in common with
might
you.
be my
They don't have
problem.
the same morals and values that you have. D.
Well, I like the high boys. I like having fun.
Okay, but D,
What?
do they really have enough in common with you? Think about your last 3 or 4 relationships. How much did they actually have in common with you?
But we could have great conversations.
You can have great conversations with anybody. You a dang social worker. That's what social workers do, is have great conversations.
And I'm a Libra.
Do Libras have great conversations?
Very
Okay.
charismatic.
D, you
What?
are open and communicative. You could have a great conversation with
With
that
anybody.
fan. Please stop using that as a criteria to screen people in because, ooh, we had a great
We had a
conversation.
great conversation. Okay. So I think we need to do me another dating experience because I do attract all the wrong men. Why?
The question is, why are you attracted to them? Because, yes, you're attracting them, but you are attracted to them in return. But when you think about it, they are not men who are good. Their puzzle pieces do
Then
not
I'd be
fit
saying,
with your
oh, well.
puzzle pieces.
I know. What about LV?
Y'all actually have a lot in common.
No.
Y'all see a lot of stuff the same way.
Yeah, we do.
Crazy stuff. They both was listed at R. Kelly today. Y'all had a lot in common.
Yes, we did.
And so
that
using
was a
him
great match.
using him as an example kind of blows my theory out of the water. So because
Yeah, it did.
typically you and him should have been okay and should have hit it off. Something derailed that train,
The D is too strong. Even when I try to be soft, I think
which means
I have too much going on. I think, like with my businesses and stuff, and that makes some men.
okay, well then that means what you need to do is date men who also have a lot going on so that they don't feel threatened by what all you have going
And then
on.
don't be feeling mad because I ain't got a whole lot of time to be on the phone with you all the time.
Because which means you need to date men who are also busy.
Yes.
They are busy making things happen while you making things happen, so they don't have time to be holding you up on the phone. This is something that I love
Ooh,
about my
this is
wife.
good.
I love this about my wife. While I'm busy, she busy. This woman, we got to wrap this up.
We
Okay.
have 4 minutes.
We okay, because the D made us start late. Listen to this.
Silence is golden.
Here's something that I like about my wife, because I see some male clients who are needy and clingy, and they get upset with their wives because she's not blowing their phone up all day. And so they're blowing her phone up and she's busy. And it's kind of a role reversal because stereotypically
That we-
women have the stereotype of being so clingy and needy and she's blowing his phone up. But I see couples in therapy who them women are like, I don't know what this stereotype is because I need this fool to find something to do and stop calling me. He know I'm out making money.
Trying to make these dollars.
And the men are needy.
And then when you go to sleep, and then like a lot of times I have to take the medicine. I take the medicine at 12, but at 11:30 I just took my shower, and now I'm relaxing.
Right.
I don't want to talk on the phone.
And you need somebody who's not going to be all needy, like, you ain't talking to me, you ain't talking. That's what I was saying. This is what I love about my wife. When I'm busy and working, she busy and working.
Mm-hmm.
And if I bust up in her office while she busy, she's like, what? You see I'm logging on, I'm trying to work, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Because she don't bother me when I'm working.
No.
And when
But
we were...
Sasha don't care.
Well, Sashi don't care. She's like, I don't care what you doing. But when me and Nadine were both working out of the home, she was able to go do her job. I was able to do my job. I didn't need her blowing my phone up, and she didn't need me blowing hers up. Mm-mm. And so when you have dated men who need all of that, that's insecurity. Why somebody got to be all up on the phone talking to the D when you out trying, you on your grind?
I know, because I'm on the phone all the time. Like, I got phone calls I'm missing now.
When you return to dating, you need to date a man who is busy on his grind. That way he ain't gonna be interrupting you while you on yours.
Oh, I know.
And he needs to be bringing as much to the table as what you bring to the table. That
If
way he
not
won't
more.
be insecure about what all the D is bringing to the table.
Even though I'll hide some of my money.
But you ain't hid enough because
I
they
sure
still
didn't.
tripping.
I still tripping.
Which increases the risk of them running out and cheating with some woman who has a lot
Lower
less
class.
than you, because then he gets to feel like he's king
the
of the
king.
world.
He's the king of the world.
And he acts like you are emasculating him
All the
because you are a successful black woman.
Ching ching.
And so we got to wrap this up. But
Wow, this was really good, you guys, wasn't it?
yeah, I put a lot of thought in this. For you, this is not just women, men too.
Yes.
Date like-minded people. If you are happy when you are single, that means when you in a relationship with yourself, that's the kind of person you're supposed to be in a relationship with when you actually in a relationship. Be careful of who you are attracted to and who is attracted to you, because that does not mean that they are a good fit. Yes, D.
I just have one question, JP.
What?
There's one thing that I really, really do enjoy when I'm single.
What is that?
Sleeping all over my bed. Now, how do I make that better when
A big bed. A big bed so you can sleep all
I
over.
can sleep all over it? Okay.
Because Nadine sleep all over the bed. I get about this much bed.
Mm-hmm.
I be literally hanging off the bed.
Well,
I'm
you're
like,
only 110 pounds. Don't worry about it.
please.
Okay, 150.
Sashi all over the bed. Like, it's crazy.
That's the one thing I really, truly enjoy being single is I have my whole bed. And
But
I
there
don't
are
even
men
really
out
have the
there
whole
that'll
bed.
let you have 3/4 of that bed.
Yeah, but I have my laptop in the bed. I have
What?
a couple of files in the bed.
This is why you got insomnia. You doing too much. And that is considered to be poor sleep hygiene. What doctors are
my
discouraging.
sleep is funky.
Doctors are discouraging sleeping with your phone. Now, I'm guilty of this because I wake up and immediately grab my phone and start
And
working.
you shouldn't. You should first say, thank you, Jesus.
I need to start doing that.
At least start doing that before you grab your phone.
You know what? I need to start doing that. Because
Yes.
I immediately open my eyes and start working.
No. I have to give my praise first.
I need to
Because the
wake up.
present.
Now, I do pray all throughout the day.
You have to. The present is a gift from God. That's why they
Right.
named it the present.
Here's a mistake that I make. The mistake I make, I pray throughout the day for guidance. Lord, please guide me throughout my day so that I might touch the lives of others as my own life is touched in return. And even
That's a good one.
taught our sons, like when we say our blessing over our meal, that's the next prayer to come. Because even as teenagers, I'm like, you need guidance too, because y'all heathens. But I spend so much time praying for guidance so I don't jack nobody up in therapy that I need to spend more time starting the day off saying thank you, Lord,
Thank you.
for these blessings.
Sometimes I get so happy in the morning
Ooh.
just saying thank you.
Yes.
Ooh.
Happy like Elvis was in that black church, passed out.
Ooh.
All right, that's our show for today. That's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And pray about everything all through the day. And don't forget to say when you wake up in the morning, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for joining us, and God bless.